All right, I am back for now. It definitely going a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Um, so yeah, I'm back. I don't know what else to say. Definitely a lot, way less than I thought it was going to be. So anyways, this is not what you're here for. This is my review for. Is what you're here for is Percy versus Goliath. So this is a 2021 film. It was released April 30th this year, and it is based on a true story. It stars Christopher Walken, Zach Braff, Krista Ritchie, and the plot of this is Christopher Walken plays a third-generation farmer named Percy who is being sued by the corporate giant for allegedly using their patented seeds. He joins forces with a culture activist to fight back. So shout out to all the farmers in this time of need, but just in general, all the way around, trying to feed us and keep us from starving. So just shout out for this kind of took a light on it, made me think of shouting them out. Probably not going to watch my stuff, but whatever. This takes place in 1998. I don't know what state though, as it didn't say. Unless I missed something, it did show some maps of where they were. I'm not good with the shapes of states, unfortunately. So he's been collecting seeds for years, and it seems like just him, not just his generation, but his parents or his parents. But I couldn't tell how long it went back. It was definitely all the way into the 1960s, so maybe further. I couldn't tell because he had all these jars that had years on them, and they kept doing a thing where they were looking at them by going back in time. Now, I didn't understand the parts where they put in an action dramatic score, as it made no sense. The type of action or type of horror film type of dramaticness to it, thing to it. It's just, it didn't fit. I don't know why they did that, and they put in certain parts that were supposed to be dramatic. So, the rest was just soft country, which is fine. Not personally a fan of country, but I felt it did fit. Now, the last song, in my opinion, fit, but this was a little bit, because it was autistic. Not autistic, but you know what I mean, what I'm trying to say. I can never pronounce the word for some reason. I do love the small town atmosphere and the crisp, clean look of the camera that was used. Of course, I knew nothing about farming, so it was like a whole nother language in every court scene. Unlike in, most movies, I understand about 60 to even 80% of the dialogue that is used and the arguments on both sides, or at least get the gist of them. But the farming one, it's just one of those categories that I know nothing about and just was like to it. Yeah. And of course, the two lawyers for the corporation are snakes. They ended up destroying his life, from money to people in his town trash talking him. So many people around the world as well. Not destroying him, but they go on to India at some point and talk about all the suicides from the farmers, and talk about they get letters from around the world, and just talk about how these corporations are controlling the world of this, and when it comes to seeds alone. They definitely did shed another whole light, like I said, on this whole thing. And I did a review beginning of last year, of a movie that was also took place in the 90s that was based on a true story, that was taken from a book that was based on a true story. It was evolving around This corporation who's been since the 40s or 50s been putting cancerous chemicals unknowingly into pots and pans for non-stick. And it was finally settled or in the late 90s or early 2000s. No, it was in the early 2000s. I believe it was the story. So it just says a lot about something that for a long time we disbelieved the corporations and not even think about it. And now these days they're over. We, for most part, a lot of us, like I would argue about 60% of us at least, growing on the 70, are aware and don't trust companies. And I think on both sides we can, to some degree, agree upon that equally. But yeah, it's just you just can't trust them. They put so there's been exposed so many times and stuff. So just keep that in mind from the big to the freaking huge, and it's like yeah. And this is another movie that sheds a light on it, on the greed. There was another movie. Oh, okay, I already read that. No, yeah. So back to the movie itself, Christy Ritchie. I don't know what I saw her in, and I didn't know she was still in the movie business. But she would play the activist. She was very perky, which is not a good thing in this case. Like very perky, kind of a Gen Z type of stereotype that you get, and then you get it with the stereotype of activism, of the pure activist hippies type of thing. I think I read that she was 41 in real life, but she looked and kind of played a 20-year-old. That's not necessarily a knock at 20-year-olds. That's just kind of how, like, that early 20s to teens type of mindset. You know exactly what I'm talking about, maturity-wise. And then you got the activism part of it. She was this selfish, lying dick the whole time. And for the second half, she was, came to thing. But her acting, I didn't necessarily like, and I definitely didn't like her character. If that makes sense. This was not what I thought this was going to be from the trailers and the synopsis of the description. But it is a true story and somewhat inspiring, not by much for me. I think it was more inspiring towards farmers and agriculturists. But just because it's a true story doesn't mean it makes a good story, unfortunately. It needs to be told either way, but the movie was a very slow burn for me. Did love some moments in here, like when they went to India. It was a very wholesome moment. And there were some swords scenes towards the end that I definitely liked. And I liked the ending somewhat. It's not exactly what I wanted to be, but then again, it's not a made-up ending, far as I could tell. It's just how the story was actually happened in real life, so I can't really be picky about it. But yeah, the ending wasn't bad. Story was pretty straightforward. No real twist. No straight across. It was pretty much a straight across. Of a storyline. Wasn't like no ups and downs or anything or like that. It was just. That's all This is all my opinion, obviously, but this is also my opinion of my rating. So, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Did you see this? Did you hear of it? Did you want to see it? Did you think it was boring? For me, it was a little bit boring, or actually pretty boring. But I did find it very interesting at some point. So, if you have not already, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. Please leave a comment. It adds to the algorithm. And, yeah, please stay safe. I love you all, and thanks for all the good wishes of health. It turned out very well, unfortunately, or not. I don't mean that in a bad way, but yeah, definitely not what I think it was going to go. So, But yeah, thank you anyways, and school.